Hello YouTube viewers, Facebook friends, Facebook families, and to my subscribers. I want to welcome you to another edition of Joe's Politics 101. You know, all along I've said to that President Obama and the Afro-American people in his cabinet have been treated worse than anyone I've ever seen. I'm so glad that finally somebody began to talk about it. You know, I'm not very good at comedy, and I'm not real humorous when it comes to making jokes and doing different things. But had a little incident with Louis Gohmert, the racist Republican senator from some little small rural area in Texas, which if you know anything about Texas, there's a lot of rural people who are really misinformed and low information. You know, they get most of their news from Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck on the AM radio stations. But that was a good exchange. I really am glad that Eric Holder somewhat put Mr. Gohmert in his place. You know, the statement about the Attorney General don't take contempt serious. You know, Gohmert knows as well as everybody else knows that what they did to the United States Attorney in holding him in contempt of Congress was wrong as two left shoes on a backwards mule. But, you know, for Louis Gohmert, the spurs your mind, or spaggers. And Holder was right in telling him, good luck with your spaggers. You know, this has been a long, hard fight, you know, and I think people are getting sort of tired of it, especially the people that are concerned, that are involved. One of the things that I have to admire President Obama for is all of the insults, all of the denigrations, all of the things that have been cast at him. He's taken it in stride and basically said, you know, sometime if you ignore an idiot, the idiot just might go away. Well, this Republican Party that we have today isn't going away. You know, this is the old Dixiecrats attitude and behavior. You know, Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazi, extremist type of people. You know, and these people like Rand Paul and Paul Ryan, this old guy Freehold from Texas. You know, let me just put it this way: Louis Gohmert and this other guy Freehold that are from Texas. You know, and you have to know Texas. You have to understand Texas. The worst experience I had when it comes to race in my life was in the state of Texas. You know, and if you get into those rural areas, that's where you find it at. You'll find some in the cities, but in general, you're going to find it mostly in the rural areas. And I guess it would be the same thing throughout the United States. Louisiana, rural areas, a lot of races, a lot of prejudice. Rural areas in Kentucky, Tennessee, all of these rural areas have a tendency to hate Afro-Americans or Latinos or, you know, Arabs, Jews, you know. And I hear these politicians talking about the Jewish nation. You know, the most vile things that I've ever heard about Jewish people have come from the mouths of Caucasian or white people. You know, as far as people in my race, the Afro-American race, we are probably the more humanistic of all people in this country, in the United States of America. We have a tendency to believe that when you advocate for the rights of others or yourself, that you're advocating for the rights of every American in this country, in any other country. There is no reason for anyone to want to deny a person the opportunity to vote, the opportunity to earn a decent wage, a living. You know, the only reason that that can possibly exist is because people want to keep a certain segment or certain segments of society at a bottom level. You know, because when you have the poor, you can dictate the wages, you can dictate their rights, you can dictate things that you would normally not be able to dictate because they're in need. They have a need for something. You know, today's Republican Party and the rich people that's trying, that they're kissing up to, I guess I could say it like it should be said, the rich people whose asses our politicians are kissing for the money, isn't conducive to democracy. It's detrimental to the well-being and the progress of a nation that's supposed to be fair and equal to all. Now, you know, there are probably some people out there that's going to say, oh, well, people don't work. People work hard as they can if they can find a job. You know, right here in my community, you know, I know young ladies, young men that are working 2 minimum wage jobs to keep a house, to keep a car, to feed their families. But yet, the people in Washington and in Baton Rouge will say they need to work harder. How many jobs can you work? You know, there's only so many hours in a day. And if you spend 16 of those hours working, and you need rest, which is another 6 or 8 hours, you know, where do you find time to work a third job? This fight about the minimum wage. They need to increase the minimum wage. $10.10 really isn't enough, because, you know, right now in this country, the price of food, the price of clothing, the price of gasoline, the price of utilities is extremely high. You know, just myself on a personal level, I spent over $4,000 this past winter, probably 5 this past winter, for utility bills, basically a light bill. You know, so how do $10.10 help you? It helps you some, but the minimum wage of $7.25, as it is right now, and the majority of the people that you work for pay you more than $7.25. It's usually $8 and something, or $9. And another dollar will make a difference, but it's not going to bring a person's living standards up to what it should be. And the Republicans, you know, can fight all they want. They've gerrymandered the districts in all of the states, so they'll know that the same senator or some senator similar to him will be sent back to the Congress. You know, and I behoove people who, you know, support the Republicans. I behoove them. I beg them to take a close look at the people you're voting for and sending to represent you and their ideals. They forget the hell about you once they get to Washington, and it becomes about the money, all about the nickel and dime and the dollar. You know, I'm hoping that Mitch McConnell will be gone during this election cycle. I'm hoping that at some point in time, Paul Rand will be defeated. Eric Cantor will be defeated. John Boehner will be defeated. You know, I'm sort of looking forward to those days when those people are not in the House of Representatives, the Senate, and people like Ted Cruz, you know, the Naziist crap that they aren't for people of America. They're for themselves. They're for the type of things that they talk about. Christianity, Christians, you know. As far as President Obama, he is the first Afro-American president, and he sucked up a lot. He dealt with a lot. See, a person like me, I'd have been done took John Boehner into the back room somewhere and kicked his bonehead behind. You know, I'd have been up in his face. I'd make him fight me or do the right damn thing. But, you know, you can't do that in politics. You know, you just can't do it. If I was Eric Cantor, people like Gomer and all of them, I'd catch them somewhere in the hallway and get right in their face and see what they got to say about that. Then they can tell the news media, oh, he got in my face and he threatened me. You know, I would let them know that threatening you ain't all I will do to you. But you can't do that in politics. So I guess I could never ever be a politician, you know, because of that kind of behavior, that when you get under my skin enough, I'm going to get you straight. You know, and basically, Mr. Gomer got under the Attorney General's skin the other day, and the Attorney General told him, explained him, don't you ever think that being held in contempt of the Congress was not important or serious to me. And he made sure he made him understand that. Point his finger at him, and in the end took a foul shot at him. You know, good luck with your asparagus. I want to thank you for watching my YouTube video. God bless you. God bless America. Ciao.